Okay, we're recording. Welcome to another coming home conversation. Today, I am blessed to have the lovely Bianca Jane, the plant based queen, here to talk today about how she helps women look and feel amazing for life with plant based nutrition, habit, and lifestyle changes. So, I want to just share a little bit about this lovely lady here. She is known as the plant based queen, and she is a women's weight loss expert who's helped hundreds of women between the ages of 30 and 70 completely transform their bodies, their health, and their confidence, and her signature blend of plant based nutrition, mindset, very important, and lifestyle mastery. Right? She's a powerhouse behind Overhaul Health and Wellness, a brand that's redefining what sustainable weight loss actually looks like. Okay. She's a no bullshit, no gimmicks, and no shortcuts coach. Her clients aren't counting calories, thank God. They're not weighing their food or obsessing over numbers because that never works, does it? She's on a mission to help 1 million women step into a healthier, stronger, more confident version of themselves without giving up their joy, their sanity, or their favorite foods. And that fuels her passion. So, I'm really blessed to have you here today. Thank you for saying yes to this because I know you're going to just give so much value to my audience. Thanks for being here, Bianca.
Thank you. It's my absolute pleasure. And what an introduction. That was very lengthy. Thank you so much.
Who doesn't love her accent? Hello. Okay. Where are you from? Where are you in?
UK, South
UK.
Coast,
I love it.
England.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Rainy, rainy, 24/7.
Oh, well, I'm in the desert and it's really warm and sunny here, and it will be all week.
Not jealous at all. Not jealous one bit.
Hence the tank top in December. So there you go.
And the jumper and thermals underneath.
All right. So let's jump in because I know we have a life beyond this. So tell me how you came to be the plant based queen.
Ooh, okay. Am I okay to take up a couple of minutes here?
100%. It's all about you, actually. I hear from me all the time.
Okay, so where do I start? Okay, so to be honest, it all started back in 2015 when I nearly died.
Oh,
I know that's a rough way to start a conversation, I know. But I was traveling, I was eating fast food, eating on the go. I was drinking quite heavily, and I was just totally disconnected from my body. Kind of what you might see from typical younger 20 somethings, I guess. Um, Back then, I genuinely believed that food was just something that we shoved in our mouths. I had no idea that it affected our energy, our mood,
yeah.
inflammation, around our bellies, around our face, long-term health hormones. I had no idea, no idea. And then I had a serious snowboarding accident
Oh,
where I was airlifted into the emergency surgery, and they pretty much gave me the worst ultimatum that I've had of my life. They say, you either die from internal bleeding or we do a spleen surgery, which, by the way, has a 50-50 chance of you surviving.
oh
So
my
I was like,
goodness.
great. I know. Not a nice way to start the conversation. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But
It's life.
uh, but yeah, I like to take risks, and obviously I lived. But from that moment, I was kind of forced into stillness. Like everything else had stopped, all the buzzing of life had stopped, and it was just me in the
Mm,
living room on the other side of the world, away, removed from my family, removed from like all of my friends, because I mean, I wasn't going to fly home with a broken spleen. And that's when I kind of just sat down and I was like, what am I doing with my life? And then I stumbled coincidentally, into some Netflix documentaries on no, some documentaries on Netflix, and they're all nutrition based.
mm.
What the Health and Sugar Pill, to be precise, if you're interested. And then I learned something that really changed my life, and that's food is information. It tells the body whether it's safe, whether to be inflamed, whether it's supported, to have more energy, to take more energy away, to slow down, to speed up. And so over the next few months, I tried to dive a little bit more into nutrition.
Mhm.
And I took up a health coaching certificate because I thought, well, a nutrition degree is like 10,000 and I need to go to university. That's not going to happen. So
Right.
I found health coaching. I fell in love with it. I started changing how I lived my life. With health coaching, I realized that it wasn't just about food. So there I was thinking that everything that we eat influences our life, but everything we do influences our life.
100%.
Everything that we think influences our life. And I was like, holy shit. Sorry, I forgot to ask if
You
swearing was
can
okay.
say whatever you want, girlfriend.
I was like, I was like, holy shit, what is this? Like, I felt like I'd just discovered the cure to cancer or something, which is kind of technically true. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And so I was so taken aback at how simple little things have such an influence and impact to our immediate and future selves
Yes.
that I wrote up a book. Like then and there, I wrote up like this 26-page book of everything that I was learning, sent
Mm,
it to my stepmom. She's massively overweight, massively unhealthy, like
mm.
her mental health was in the gutter. And she changed, right? She
Wow.
turned her life around just from that. To this day, this was in 2015, to this day, she still doesn't eat any biscuits, which is like her claim to fame. She's like, I don't eat biscuits still.
That's a claim right there.
Yeah, yeah, biscuits, cookies, whatever you want to say. So I basically, I don't know, I just fell in love with coaching women. Men are boring to coach, I'll be quite honest, because they've got no emotional shit going on. So I fell in love with coaching
And they're
women.
not as apt to share because I have coached
Oh,
men as well, and they're very black and white. They don't share very much.
it's very difficult when they do have emotional stuff going on to
Oh,
break through.
mm, true.
So yeah, so because I sent that to my stepmom and I was getting great feedback from her and we was doing a lot of back and forth and then she became my first practice client. Then she changed her, like totally transformed her life. And I was like, wow, like there's definitely something here. So then I started focusing on helping women around her age, which was mid to late 40s to mid to late 60s. And I started recognizing that there was a lot of women that felt like they were doing everything right, but they were stuck in their bodies that wasn't responding to what they felt.
Mhm.
And I realized that they weren't lazy, which they thought they were. They didn't think that they were overeating, but they were. There was just this huge disconnect as to what they thought and what was actually going on.
Mm.
And they were exhausted, inflamed, hormones were haywire, often very disconnected to their bodies, typically due to a lot of dieting. I mean, women around 50s,
So
right? Even
true.
my generation, younger generations, it's just diet, diet, diet,
Yep.
diet. It's
And it's
just
like this.
pumped. Yeah, yeah,
I feel good. I feel bad. I feel good. I feel bad. I'm,
yeah.
it's
But then it's
terrible.
just pumped into our ears from young child, hearing your mother then say, looking in the mirror and going, "Oh, I'm a bit fat," or "Oh, maybe I'll just skip that
Uh,
and I'll just have a salad."
I
So, I
remember
mean,
watching my mom put together her lunch for the day, and it was like cottage cheese and like canned peaches, and I was like, "Ooh, you're eating that?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, that was my first brush with diet." And she was into Weight Watchers, which is pretty popular here in the States, and weighing all
mhm.
the food, and it seemed like just punishment.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And, now luckily we have a lot of science, but equally we have a lot of manufacturers and money-hungry people jumping on women's vulnerabilities and difficulties and struggles and
Yep.
emotional disconnect. We have
Mm,
companies jumping on that and marketing to them. And I noticed, especially since I've been doing this, more and more that companies are just targeting people, telling them that if they just fix this one thing, right? And
hmm.
how many times have you seen, oh, or heard, oh, Julie, I think your metabolism is broken.
Yep.
Oh, your hormones are out of whack. Oh, because you're menopausal, you will gain weight.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting very angry with it, especially
Same.
don't get me on the
I
whole
agree.
Ozempic and weight loss jabs. Don't even start with that. But I was getting so, like, I found this out about nutrition and healthy lifestyle, and it made sense. It was logical. And I was just starting to get so angry with the world because it's telling women that they are broken and that they should take this pill and that they should drink these shakes and that they should do this and they should do that. And it's the wrong freaking solution to the wrong problem. But
Mm.
because it's promises in a pill, in a bottle, a quick fix, we are, as human beings, naturally and intrinsically wired to go to shortcuts.
Of course. Well, I mean, we live in a world where you got a computer in your hands, right? And it's like you Google or ask Siri for something and you have it just like that. So we're trained to have things immediately. And I think I shared with you when we talked before this interview that I used to work with women around intuitive eating, right? And it's like we have to understand that we didn't, if you've gained weight, it didn't happen overnight. It happened over the course of probably 10 or 20 or even 30 years. So if it takes
Mm,
a year or two to get it off in a healthy way,
yeah,
we have to get our head around that. So to your point,
yeah,
that's
exactly, exactly. So, just I guess just to round it off, the way that I work with my clients and with women is a bit different. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not
yeah.
a doctor, I'm not a dietitian. I'm a health coach and I use science-backed methods,
Mm,
plant-based nutrition to help lower inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, get the hormones regulating again, get them supported. I use the things that we're supposed to be doing, but in 2025, 2026, we've forgotten that we need to do
yes.
because our lives are so out of balance to where we're supposed to be as human beings. Um, Working with emotions, nervous system, identity work, habits, lifestyle choices, all of these things, so that we can rebuild the trust in our bodies, learn
Mm,
what our bodies are asking us rather than referring to these apps and what else someone is telling us. It's like, hang on a minute, you know what's going on in your body, but you just need to listen. Um,
yes. Can I just speak to that really
Please,
fast?
please,
Because that is
please.
that is something that I just spent 4 days talking about, okay, through my 4 day reset that I just finished. And it's so we all have information within our bodies about
Mhm,
everything that we need,
mhm.
whether it's about health, relationships, our emotional stability, whatever it is. It's like, and we have to start checking in with ourselves, not worrying about what works for Sally or Joan or Becky. It's like, what works for your body? Because I say this all the time, we're all snowflakes, we're all different. And we have to find that special combination that works for our body. And it sounds like that's how you work with your clients too. It's like you work specifically with what is happening in their body, not what worked for anybody else, but what works for them. And I love that.
Yeah,
But
precisely.
I love it.
Exactly that. And when the body feels supported, and I mean the way that it needs to be supported emotionally, physically, like biologically,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, it will stop clinging onto excess fat. It will stop
Yes.
clinging onto diet trauma. It will stop clinging onto emotional crutches. And you can get energy, you can get mental clarity,
Yeah.
freedom, time, energy back.
Yeah.
That's why when I work with women, fat loss is the initial goal, but very soon after we start working together, it's I want to feel like this. I want
Yes.
to look like this, not a freaking number on a scale.
Yeah.
Like, get that number out of your head. If it helps you get down, like get off like 100 pounds, then great, fantastic. But really, like what I do with clients is how, I teach them how to get healthy, how
Mm.
to optimize their health and their life, and weight loss becomes a beautiful symptom of that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Oh, you
So
guys, this
juicy.
girl knows what she's talking about. Okay, well, here's one of the things that I know I've thought about myself because, as I mentioned to you earlier, it's like I find myself these days migrating more to more of a plant-based or just less meat, basically. And I find that I feel so much lighter and I sleep better too. And my bathroom visits are much better as well. But
Good,
I also,
good.
I think
We
that
all
there's
want to be pooping regularly. Okay, let's just get that
true.
out there.
Yeah. So, but I want to address because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about like how hard it is to go plant-based, like if like it's expensive, it's there's just a there's just a lot of things that about how hard it is to do, like am I going to get enough, of what I need, whatever. I mean, let's talk about first about the price and how just tell me what you know about that. How can this be done in a economical way if
Mm,
without I don't know,
okay,
turning your life
okay.
upside down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and maybe just even
Yes.
like easing into it, because I think the worst thing that we can do, because that's the diet mentality, is to throw everything out and then
Yep.
start
Baby
feeling
bath water.
right and feel like you're being deprived. And you're like, if I eat another piece of celery, I'm going to barf, kind
Yeah,
of thing. Right. So
a
tell me
hundred percent. A hundred
tell me
percent.
about all that stuff. You know.
Okay, so let's so some misinformation that's out there about
Yeah.
plant-based. Let's start with first and foremost, let's start with if I can do this, you can do this too, right? I
Okay.
just want like guys, my Facebook profile is public. I don't want you to, but you can go and look back through my profile, right? This is going to really damage my reputation. But look
No.
back through my photos of me as I was like 18, 21, shots everywhere, right? I had no idea that orange juice came from an actual orange. I thought it was just orange and it was some form of liquid. So,
So
if
cute.
I can do this and I can teach women and I can help women lose 50 pounds without moving and exercising, and I can help
Ooh.
Beverly, who's 72, she's
Oh.
now the lightest and fittest and healthiest and most proud and most joyful that she has been since she is 12 years old. She was
Oh.
dieting since she's 9. She's now 72, right? If I can teach these women and
Feels.
show them how to do this,
Ooh.
it melts my heart. Don't, I haven't even got the feels out yet. But if I can learn this and apply it, and I can teach other people to do it, so can you. So just blow that one out there. When it comes to, so one of the top things is people are like, oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Um, when was the last time you went out and bought a pack of lentils, a pack of oats, a pack of rice, a pack of potatoes, some frozen vegetables? It ain't freaking expensive, right?
Yeah.
Don't go to Air One, obviously.
Yeah, right. That
Don't
store
go
is
to the
stupid.
super expensive places. Go to Costco, or I don't know what you guys have
Yeah,
over there,
Costco.
but yeah, go to Costco, go to Walmart. I don't know if they do food, I don't know.
They do.
But
Walmart. Yeah.
like bulk buy, right? Us Brits, we don't know what bulk buy is. You guys know what bulk buy is. I've seen your spice shakers. Like
Yeah.
you can get like herb spices like this.
With a
Do you
foot
know how
pump.
big? Yeah, do you know how big they sell them in the UK? Little tiny things like this highlighter,
Oh.
right? My
Oh.
spice rack is like 10 of those. It's like
Oh.
these little tiny things, right? So buy in bulk, it's far cheaper. But plant-based eating, when you know what you're doing, is not expensive. I'm just going to put that out there as a full stop. If you're struggling, there are so many books and Facebook groups and YouTube videos on how to do it cheaply.
Yeah.
But what I really want to tackle is how much is like fatigue costing you?
Ooh.
How much is poor memory costing you? How much is slower movement and impaired cognition? How much is this costing you?
Ooh. Good
Right?
point. Hmm.
Because that's where the real cost is. I
Yeah.
used to nap 3 hours a day, Julie. 3 hours a day when I was 20 something.
Wow.
20 something shouldn't be napping.
Yeah.
I was napping 3 hours a day. I actually have a collage that I show people that my housemate put together for my birthday of me sleeping in different places in the flat that I
Oh,
shared.
wow.
Right? Imagine if you could get 3 hours back in your day from napping or from just generically being slow. Like when
Mm.
you have a couple of or a strong coffee, how fast are you? Imagine if you times that by 24 hours in a day
Well, and I
or
also
however
to
many days in a week.
like what I said earlier too, it's like I notice for myself that when I eat, a meal with meat, I have this period of time after I eat that about 30 to 45 minutes after I eat where I'm just like I could take a nap. And it was funny because I was at my friend's house a week ago and she's eating a lot more plant-based and she made some pasta that just had like some uh it was onions and mushrooms in it, I think. And she gave me some of it with some Parmesan cheese. Of course, that I don't know. Do you do cheese?
No,
Okay, no,
it's
but
fine.
but it was very little. But I mean, the whole point is it had very little stuff on it, but she had parsley on top of it, and it was so good. And I felt so, and I didn't have that slump after even eating pasta. I was shocked that I didn't
Hmm.
feel tired after that. And I think that that's another thing too that we don't realize that we feel sluggish a lot after we eat, right?
Hmm.
So I'm sorry, I
Hmm.
didn't mean to have to keep going.
No, 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 no. I love that. I think that's beautiful. And this is a perfect example of listening to your body, you know.
Yeah,
Start questioning yourself. Should I be needing a nap for 3 hours during the day? No.
yeah,
Like, should I be exhausted and need a nap after I've eaten a meal? No. I'd
yeah.
say to my clients to eat until they're energized. As soon as they're not energized after they eat, they've eaten too much,
Mm,
right? So it's very easy for us to overeat on and overconsume on animal products because animal products actually elicit a little part of our brain which sets off like the serotonin and dopamine. So our brains love these foods. I think I'm going a bit jittery, I'm sorry. Our brains love these foods.
mhm.
So your brain will love them, it will want them, but it doesn't make you feel good, right? The
Mm.
same as candy, the same as ice cream, the
Oh,
same as
sugar. Ooh,
chocolate, right? You
yeah,
want it, yeah, you have it, it tastes good, but then you feel like crap
yeah. So
afterwards.
true. Ooh, I
Yeah.
love that.
So yeah, like with a plant-based lifestyle, there has not been one client yet, and touch wood, I still don't, that when they eat more plants and their lifestyle they include more plants in their lifestyle, whether they're 100% plant-based or vegan or not.
Right.
When they include more, they get more energy.
Mm.
They get more time back because they're faster at doing things. They're
Ah, I love it.
faster at their cognition. Their memory is clearer.
Yeah.
So plant-based lifestyle doesn't have to be expensive, but also the mindset around it is important, right? That should be, in my opinion, an expensive choice, right? A statistic that I found out recently that I absolutely love is a woman who starts getting healthy in her 80s can add 3.5 more years to her life.
Ooh.
Imagine if you start at 50, right?
Mm.
That's where you're buying time.
I love that. Ooh, say that again. That's a really
No,
good point.
don't. My clients do this all the time. They're like, "Can you say that again?" I'm like, "No. What comes out of my mouth, I can't repeat. It just comes out." A woman in her 80s, if she starts like exercising and eating healthy, she can gain 3.5 years of her life. Imagine starting that at 50. Like, isn't that worth the extra cost? The extra cost is time,
Absolutely.
right?
So
It could
true.
be a little bit of time, like learning how to do it, learning a new recipe, learning how to cook this way. You're investing, right? I look at this as investment. You put a little
Yes.
bit of time in now, and you can get another year of your life added on.
Well, and also I think about the other effects that come out of this long term, right? It's like you just become more. I mean, I have to say, and I said this to you before, it's like you are radiant. I mean, you are just like stunning, glowing. You look so healthy, and I know that that comes from everything that you're talking about, right? It's like
Yeah,
you're listening to your body, you're giving it what it needs, you've given it more energy, you've lit it up from the inside out, right? And
yeah.
it's like, and I know women over 50 they're all concerned about getting older, so you're gaining back time. They want to look more vibrant, they want to look more young, they want to lose weight. I mean, this is checking all the boxes.
This,
Hello.
the way, yeah,
I
the
mean,
way
it's
that
like
I
a
live my
no-brainer in a
life,
way.
exactly, exactly. And the way that I live my life is like, here's an analogy. My clients know I just pull them out of thin air. The way that I live my life now is like me putting wrinkle cream on when I was 18,
Mm,
right? I didn't have wrinkles then. I'm not old now, but I am putting the steps in place to minimize the damage later on. So
yeah.
what I'm doing now, not only am I actually reaping the benefits from now, but what I'm doing now, like not going out drinking or saying no to an extra portion or choosing to go down one aisle that says plant-based and has it there, like it's so freaking easy nowadays, instead of going down the meat aisle.
Right.
You can literally pick up like for like if you want to start. That small little bit of investment is me getting years later on down my life. Now,
Mm.
whether you start that at 34 or whether you start that at 54, it doesn't matter, right? If you start at 80, you can add 3.5 years. So always look at it like it's never too late.
It
It's
isn't.
never too late.
It really isn't. You've convinced me, honestly. It's like I really want to go down this path. I do. I mean, we go once a weekend to a restaurant here called Chef Tanya's in the area, and it's completely plant-based. It's vegan, and it's literally my favorite meal that we have in the week. It's so good. I've told myself that I couldn't possibly make this. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yes, you
and I
could.
know that that's
Pull
not
apart the
true.
ingredients. We could do it now. We could do it here. Send me
Yeah.
a picture after this and I'll show you how, I'll tell you how to make it. Simple,
I mean,
easy.
because there's all those protein substitutes. Obviously, there's tofu, there's seitan, there's I don't know all the names of them, but I know that they use a lot of them there, and they taste so good. I mean, they
Yeah.
really are my favorite thing.
Taste is actually something that's really important to talk about as well.
Yeah,
Because if you are someone who eats a highly processed diet, right? You eat a lot of Cheetos or packaged stuff. And if you think of processed, it's really anything that comes in like a packet.
yeah,
Mind you, like lettuce and salad leaves comes in a box nowadays for you guys, doesn't it?
yeah.
But
Bag and boxing. Yeah,
yeah, um, if it hasn't grown, essentially, if it hasn't grown out of the ground or off a tree, you're going to desensitize yourself to flavors and tastes.
mm,
And you're desensitizing yourself to your own body cues. So, what we were talking about earlier, your body will tell you what it needs all the time. When you are eating those quote unquote foods, now I'm not demonizing anything, I'm just saying they're not food because they're not nutritious. They're just like
yeah,
something that we put in our bodies.
yeah,
When you're eating those processed foods, you are numbing down, you're silencing all of what's going on in your body. So now you become almost like I like to say it like a zombie, right? And
yeah,
we're just going about our day doing our thing, not really
yeah,
feeling who we are, what's going on in our body. And those foods are dumbing those senses down, as well as dumbing our taste buds down.
yeah.
So the less processed foods you have and the more whole foods you have, the more you can actually taste in your food.
Mm,
So it wouldn't be a surprise that if you are leaning towards more plants, those dishes actually taste better because
yeah.
you're reducing the processed foods, you're getting your taste buds back again, and flavors just become more powerful and impactful, which is
Mm,
beautiful.
I love
Sorry, you were
that. I
saying.
read a book years ago called The Dorito Effect. I don't know if you've ever read it, but I highly recommend it. And it talks about the artificial flavorings that came out in like the 70s and that, and how like cheese
Most of them
flavored.
weren't even regulated or okayed.
Right. Well, not only that, but it's like he talks about how the cheese flavoring, for example, on a Cheeto or a Dorito, for example, it's like your body, you eat more of them because you're trying to be satiated for the cheese, but you can't be because it's just a flavor. It's not actually the cheese. That's why you can eat a whole bag of chips and not realize it. And so it's fooling your body. And then the other thing I wanted to say too that he touches on is that so much of the processed food that you were talking about, our bodies don't really know what to do with it because your body really isn't craving Cheetos. It's craving the flavor
Mm.
that never
They
satiates you. That's why you
they
can't stop eating.
basically like lace things with like drugs, like
Pretty
any
much.
addictive drug that you can think of.
Yeah.
They lace these foods. So they lace these combinations of chemicals and stuff
Yeah.
and call it food.
Yeah.
This is part of the reason why I'm so angry with what's going on in the world right now,
Mhm.
because like these big bodies, they're targeting people, telling them, here's a jab to stop eating. Well, how about we stop producing these drug-like foods and calling it food
Yeah.
so we don't have the obesity problem or the overeating problem in the first place.
Yeah.
And this is where women get so caught up thinking that it's their fault, that they're broken, that they can't lose weight, that they just don't have any willpower. Do you know, like, that's the main thing for me. People are like, oh, I don't have willpower. I'm
Yeah.
like, babe, it's not that you don't have willpower, it's that the world is against you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, they've
Come
proven
with
that
me, let me show you.
you have about 40 minutes of willpower, anybody in any given day. They've already proven that. So it's like, it's not that you have to have a deeper reason why you want to do this. It's like you want to be
Mhm.
around for your grandkids or whatever that is. It's like you have to have a deeper reason why you want to be healthy. So, oh my
Yeah,
God, you are
100%.
just,
Sorry, I'm rambling on.
I got to tell you though, I was excited for this, but I'm really, really impressed with everything that you shared. I mean, I learned so much today during this interview, and I'm really blessed that you came in. And I want to make sure I'm going to, of course, put all of your information beneath this video so everyone can connect with you and follow you and learn about everything you know. But is there anything you want to leave them with, or is there anything you want to share with them before we wrap this up? Because I know you've got dinner coming up.
Yeah,
People are waiting
my
for you to eat
friends
dinner.
came in. I could hear my friends coming in, and she's Polish, and they're making bigos, which is like stewed cabbage. It's so delicious. I can hear it and smell it.
Yeah.
Yes, there is one thing that I knew that I wanted to speak to your audience
Okay.
about, if I'm okay for a
Of
couple of
course.
minutes. A couple of things that are hot topics for women
Okay.
is people talk about carbs, protein,
Yep.
and soy.
Oh, right,
And I
right, right.
really want to just very quickly, because
Thank
I
you.
don't want to take up too much of your time, go through these main points.
Yes.
First and foremost, we are told that we need far more protein, that we need to focus on our protein than we actually need. Now, if you look at the research papers, you look at all the science, all we need is zero point 0.8 to 1.4 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. Now, I'm not going to sit here and let you guys work that out, but it's freaking low, right?
Yeah.
It's low. If you've seen any of my photos, I'm like, I've got muscle, right? I flex like that. I've got biceps, I've got shoulders. I do not obsess about my protein. Okay, so protein, you will get enough. What we are severely deficient in is fiber. Fiber
Mm,
deficiency is an epidemic, right?
interesting.
And you will see if you lean into this a little bit on social media, because what it does is when you look at something, it sends you more of that thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you start looking, you will see more and more videos of I can't remember what they call it, but surgeons that operate on like bowels and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Far more instances of like bowel cancer are coming up because we are so fiber deficient.
Wow.
So we need fiber. If you're
So what
worried about,
explain what fiber is just briefly. What is that?
think about fiber as the structure in fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Fruits and vegetables is very minimum. You get more fiber in things like grains and beans and
Gotcha.
legumes.
Okay.
Okay. Now the problem is people forget that all the different types of beans, all the different types of lentils, all the different types of soy are actually a food out there. So if you want to incorporate more plants into your diet, because what I've said might sound logical, start with some beans, like swap out some meat for some beans or swap out some meat for some lentils. Just grab a freaking tin, like make it easy, make it easy.
Right, right, right.
But fiber is going to be so important. It helps you go regularly.
Yes.
We want to be going at least twice a day, ladies. Like, I don't want to hear any of this. I'm constipated. I haven't pooped for 5 days.
Oh my
Twice a
God.
day.
That's the worst.
Yes. So 95% of people do not meet their fiber recommendations.
Mm,
Yet barely anyone is protein deficient. Let that sink in for a minute.
wow.
The reason why we are so freaking obsessed, why there's protein water, protein bars, protein this, protein that, the reason why we are so obsessed is because of marketing.
Yeah.
And again, you can see this gets me all riled,
So
right?
true
Focus
though.
on fiber, not protein. So that was one thing. The second thing that I wanted to talk to is carbs. So I hear a lot of the time, especially for women going through menopause or around about,
Cut the
50, give or
carbs.
take, cut the carbs. Now,
Yes.
people say, I can't eat like I used to. No, you can't. I'm sorry, but I also can't eat like I was 12 years old either,
Good point.
right? When you're 12, you can't really eat like you were one either. So
Oh,
you've
true.
got to you've got to recognize that, you can't keep comparing your lifestyle, your body, your nutrition, your calorie intake to when you were younger, because your body is different. There is
Right.
no way about it. Things change, your hormones dive. You need to support that. And one thing that does really suck, and I'll be honest, is when we go through menopause, sugar impacts our body a little bit more aggressively. So,
Yeah.
yes, like if you eat a chocolate bar, you'll probably feel it more, which is another reason why we want to include complex carbohydrates, potatoes, beans, lentils
Yeah.
into our diet because they are going to help. They're going to help stabilize our blood sugar. They're going to give us fiber. They're going to slow our digestion down. Sorry, speed it up, not slow it down. It's going to speed it up. It's going to help you go regularly. It's going to give you the energy that you need. It's going to support your gut,
Mm.
all of those things. So, one of those things that I wanted to sign out with today really is yes, you can't eat carbs like you used to, but start focusing on the good carbs. It's not
Yeah.
carbs' fault. Fat will not make you fat. Carbs will not make you fat. Sugar will not intrinsically make you fat. Okay? Just eat the damn carbs. One more thing.
Oh,
Do I have
please,
time?
please. And I just want to say too, I've been incorporating more sweet potatoes into my life.
Oh, love them.
And
Love
I've
them.
noticed now that you said that, when I eat sweet potatoes in my daily meals, I don't crave the sugar at night. Huh. That's interesting. I never made that connection. Oh, I love
Ah,
that. That is huge. I just got chills again. And that is a big deal because I mean, sweet potatoes are sweet. Duh. Hence the
Mhm.
name. Keep going. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're a
No, no,
wealth
no,
of
you're good.
knowledge. Wow.
And you guys can have them. I can't find them in the UK, but you guys can have the Japanese sweet potatoes, which are
Yes.
the dark purple
Purple.
ones.
Yes.
I am so envious of you, Julie. So envious. Because when you bake these slowly, they turn into cake. Like the
Yes.
texture is like a nice spongy cake.
Yep.
Eat those. Eat those.
Mm.
People in Japan have the highest
Blue zone.
yes, blue zones. And they eat, and this leads nicely on to what I was going to say, purple sweet potatoes and soy.
Ah.
Okay, so if you want to live your longest, happiest life, and it's never too late because the statistic tells us what an 80-year-old can achieve.
Yep.
So it's never too late to change your diet, to change the ways that you work, to change your mindset, to change your mentality, to change your spirituality. It's never too late to change. The only thing that you're going to regret is not doing anything, right?
Yes.
But yeah, they have the longest lifespan, the healthiest lifespan. You've got like Japanese people squatting out of the grass, as we call it in the gym, right?
Yes.
They're squatting down, they're hypermobile, they're strong,
Yep.
and they
No
eat a lot of
inflammation.
sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, no inflammation. They eat a lot of sweet potato and soy. So soy contains plant compounds called isoflavones, which have a similar cell structure to estrogen. Okay,
Oh,
similar, not the same. And this acts like and behaves like, similar to, not the same as, the estrogen that we have in our bodies.
wow.
The receptors to estrogen, I like to think of it like a hexagon shape,
Yep.
and the isoflavones are also hexagon-like. So the receptors bind, and when they bind in the cells, it helps heal things like tissues and
Ah,
bones. It's shown to lower certain types of cancers,
wow.
right? Which is, of course, what we want to be doing.
Of course.
Also, on average, those that regularly consume soy foods, they experience about a 25% reduction in menopausal symptoms, like hot flashes.
Ladies, did you hear that? Oh my
Drink
God.
your mother effing soy because it's going to be fantastic for you, right?
Wow.
And Japan doesn't even have a word for menopause because their symptoms are so sparse because they eat the Japanese sweet potatoes and soy. So that's all I want from you guys.
Oh my
Eat more
God.
tofu, tempeh, edamame, soy, milk, miso, natto. They're all soy sources.
Mm.
Eat your beans, eat your greens. And the more of those you eat, the way that I like to handle it with my clients is crowd in to crowd out. So
Mm.
if you start eating all of the plant-based foods, what do you have less space for? The junk food.
Yeah.
Like you said, when I have sweet potatoes with my dinner, I don't crave a dessert or I don't crave something sweet afterwards.
That is amazing. Oh, I love that.
And sweet potato is fantastic. And if you are on a weight loss journey, one thing that I like to do, a little sneaky hack, if I do want dessert and I'm being a bit of an ass and I'm like, no, I'm going to have dessert. If I have my meal, I'll take my sweet potato off, eat the veggies and the tofu and whatnot, and then I will like caramelize this a little bit more in the oven and have
Mm.
that the sweet potato as like a dessert. So I'm having
Ooh.
the same meal, same quantity, but I'm having like my main and dessert. That's how I trick my brain.
Ah, I love those hacks. Those are the best.
Yes,
I mean, it really
yes,
makes us, and I mean, there's all kinds of other things that I'm sure you teach going, it's like slowing down eating, not waiting until you're starving to eat. I mean, those are all obviously things that we need to also do. Because I was talking
yeah.
to a woman yesterday and she's like, I didn't have anything to eat all day. I'm going to go eat something now. I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? I mean, I can't do that. I mean, my blood sugar drops and I just turn into somebody else.
It's funny you say that because my weight loss client today, she said, "Well, I have breakfast and then I feel hungry around about 3 or 4." I'm like, 8 hours on is not your hunger signals. That is your emergency light going off.
Absolutely.
You've just not listened to what your hunger signals are, and they're all different. But
Yeah.
that's a conversation for another day. I'm so
Right.
sorry I've taken up so much of your time,
Oh, you
Julie.
have been just a joy to like I said, this has turned into way more than what I expected. And you really have given us some serious value, serious gold in this conversation. So reach out to this young woman. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. And if you have any interest in, getting into a plant-based diet or even just getting healthy in general, I think Bianca
Mm.
is your girl. So let's reach out to
Yeah.
her and give her some airtime because I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you. Thank
So,
you. And I just want to say, I won't be long, I promise.
no, it's okay.
This space that you have for women of a certain age, of a certain life stage, I think is so beautiful. And I just want to finish with when women feel safe in their surroundings, in their environment, in their life, in their purpose, and they feel safe on an emotional level and a biological, physical level.
Yeah.
So, nutritionally, right? If you're depleted or if you're like eating loads of processed foods and you're not getting what you need and your body is calling out for help. When these are all balanced, weight loss, if you're after weight loss, it just stops being a fight,
Yeah.
right? The fat loss stops being a fight and the lack of energy and the lack of clarity and the hot flashes as well. And it just becomes this like side effect of coming home to themselves. So,
Mm,
nutrition, your physical body is so important to take care of as well.
yeah. It's the only one you're going to get. So
Exactly. It's the only, your body is the only home that you ever have.
that's true. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for being here. Again, I'll put all the information to reach out to Bianca below this video. And thanks again, Bianca. And I'll stop the recording now. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Of course.